Hello class and welcome to MSE 608B. My name is Deardorff. I'm your facilitator and instructor for the course. For the next 8 weeks you're going to be on an exploration of leadership, management, and working with high technology type of firms and organizations. What I wanted to do was give you a quick video overview, give you a chance to see me, get a little bit to know about me, and then walk you through the course modules, exactly what we're going to cover for the course, just to give you a really good, solid understanding so that you know what to expect from me. Now, my name, once again, is Dale Deardorff. I have a doctorate in organizational leadership. I actually have 3 different degrees from Cal State Northridge, a Bachelor of Arts, a Master of Arts, and an MS in Automation Engineering. So I've got a lot of experience not only in the academic side of education, but I am also a ex-Boeing program manager for over 24 years. I worked on a lot of high technology, high-tech environments. My specialty was putting together high-performing teams. So I've got a background that's going to help you walk through this material, and what I'd like to do is kind of let's just get into what the background of it's going to look like. So for the course, Leadership of Engineering Professionals and High Technology Firms, we're going to walk you through the difference between leadership and management, what those skill sets are, what the actions, what the behaviors are. We're going to give you a good grounded understanding in the course objectives as to the difference between leadership and management, where high-tech firms come in, what all of that feels like when we put it together. And we're going to introduce you to some new leadership theories. We're going to walk you through not only your own leadership skills, but how you interact when you're in a team environment. So let's go ahead and just take a peek at one of the first things you're going to see. On the screen you see leadership survey. You're going to be introduced to a leadership survey. That'll come out in module 1, and in that I will take your graded information, the survey results, and it'll be a 360 survey. You will fill it out and you will have an observer fill it out also. You'll submit that back to me. I will grade that and create a report for you. You will have a leadership report that each of you gets that is individualized for you based upon the leadership challenge, which describes the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Now, in addition to that, since this is a team-based course, you will get a team-based profile also. So you'll get to see what all of your team members look like when we merge you together with your different leadership styles. That model is something that you're going to explore from week 1 or module 1 all the way through module 8. So you've got your leadership survey. Let's drop down 1 level and you'll see Wind Energy Systems team assignments. Now what I've done is I've created a fictitious company for you called Wind Energy Systems. I've given you a background history of the company, situational scenarios, and we're going to run a mini simulation for you. Each week you're going to get additional information on WES, Wind Energy Systems, and you're going to explore that in the assignments. So one of the first assignments you get in week 1 is going to be creating a new vision and purpose statement for Wind Energy Systems. You will explore the tools associated with that. Week 2, we take you in and you're going to put together a business analysis of the organization. You're really going to get a good understanding of it. You'll use Porter's 5 forces and start to create a strategy. And we will have you develop multiple strategies. And then those strategies are going to flow into goals and objectives in week 3. They're going to then flow into KPIs based upon a business scorecard in week 4. You're going to get an opportunity to look at the company from a risk and opportunity perspective. We're going to have you design a leadership program for Wind Energy Systems. So each week you're going to get an opportunity in your teams to pull at this situational scenario, this simulation, and you're going to be providing us feedback. Now, the 2 books that you're going to have that everything is going to be based upon are going to be, the first one is going to be called the Leadership Challenge. So there's a reason that I want you to actually get this textbook. Once you hold it in your hand, you're going to feel that this feels different from any other textbook you've had. And we'll talk about that later. But the Leadership Challenge by Kouzes and Posner is probably one of the strongest pieces of leadership background history in theory and philosophy you're going to be able to find. They explore the 5 practices of exemplary leadership, and in addition to that, they unveil the 10 commitments of leadership. And we're going to have you completely unveil those. Every week in every module we'll pull at that a little bit more. Now the next text you're going to have is going to be a book I love called Everybody Matters by Bob Chapman. Bob has agreed to provide us some additional information, so you're going to have some additional information that comes from his book, from his organization, and he's going to teach us about people-centric leadership, the philosophy of people-centric leadership. So you're going to get introduced to those 2 new concepts. So every week there will be reading opportunities for you. And by the end of the 8-week modules, we'll have completed both of these textbooks. Now, if we jump to the other side of your screen, you're going to see leadership cases, or cases in leadership. And what we have is we've got 4 situational, I'll call it case studies for you to explore. And these will be individual assignments. These won't be team-based assignments. These individual assignments will force you to take that leadership challenge model and to break this down. You'll use the 5 W's tool to really understand how to do an analysis of a case study, to break it down into the essential components, and then be able to answer the specific questions that we're asking you. It's going to be a really good refresher for you in how to do an analytical breakdown of material, and it's going to give you a chance to kind of introduce that leadership challenge model for all of those components back into it. How do they fit? Now, in addition to that, on a weekly basis, I will be doing weekly Zoom live lectures for you. Week 1, as you can see listed on the screen, is going to be leadership and the difference between leadership and management. What are the challenges of that? What does that look like? How do we explore that in a high-tech organization? What does a high-tech organization look like? What are the components of it? We're going to peel that away, and those weekly Zoom live lectures will be every Wednesday night from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So that time period is where we will do the weekly live lectures. The class will actually start on a Sunday and end on a Sunday. So we run our week from Sunday to Sunday. All of your assignments will be due by close of business in your time zone on that Sunday. So that's the best I can give you. If you're in California, I know what time period that is. If you're logging in another area, it could be different. Now, in addition to that, we've got weekly threaded discussions. So every week, you're going to get an opportunity to have discussions among yourselves and with me, where I will walk you through these key themes, these leadership theories, these management philosophies, what high-tech organizations look like. What's it like to work in an engineering environment for engineering professionals? How hard is that to be a leader and possibly be a manager? How do you know when to step forward and assume that leadership role? So we're going to expose you to another philosophy called leaderful leadership, where you'll learn how to step forward, how to back off, and take a participant type of, I'll call it, position in a team environment. So all the teams will have an opportunity each week to rotate the team leadership role around. So every week you will have a new team leader until everyone on the team has had a chance to kind of explore that. Then you can repeat that position, because you should have 5 to 7 people per team if we've done our math correctly. And that would mean that someone will probably do it 1 or 2 times. I will have team leadership reports that you will provide back to me that gives me status as to what it was like for you during that weekly period where you were the team leader. And then finally at the end of the course, you're going to get a peer review. That peer review is going to be where you will actually grade your fellow team members. You will provide us input, and it's confidential, on what that leadership experience was like for you and what it felt like having other people assuming the team leadership role. Now, weekly, we've got threaded discussions, like I said, where we're going to unveil these philosophies and we're going to pull at that, but also on a weekly basis in your teams, you're going to have the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting there. So you should have a recorded Zoom meeting there as you're working towards what I'll call the final project. So your final project is this wind energy systems. These team assignments are going to be put together, and at the end of week 8 you will do a recorded PowerPoint presentation providing me, a representative from WES, Wind Energy Systems, an analysis, a report of all the different pieces that you picked up. What was your leadership strategy? What was your vision statement? What was the purpose statement you created? When you put together your balanced business scorecard, what did it look like? What were the KPIs, the key performance indicators you thought were necessary for the organization to measure itself? You're going to look at risk and opportunities. You'll have a risk register and a risk matrix that you'll provide to me. You'll give me a description of that leadership report in both a PowerPoint and a text format. So those are the assignments that you've got as a quick summary. I just wanted to do a quick introduction to give you an opportunity to see me, get a flavor for what you're going to get exposed to for the next 8 weeks or 8 modules. Once again, congratulations on being part of the MSE program. We're very excited to have you here, and we're looking forward to guiding you, allowing you to learn more about leadership of engineering professionals and high-tech firms. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the course. Goodbye.